All right, we're live on Facebook and YouTube as well. Okay, so good morning. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. While everybody is coming in, I just want to do a quick introduction for those of you who don't know me. And if you know me and you know this is going to be good, do me a favor and share this with somebody that you think could help or get some help from it. But my name is Kiara Solomon. I am the founder of the Right Click Agency. We are a full service digital marketing agency based in Elkins Park, right outside of Philadelphia, PA. And today I'm going to be talking about your habits. Okay, so I titled this broadcast "The Grind Includes Friday." Okay, it takes 21 days. It takes 21 days to form a habit and 90 days to create a lifestyle. And today is January 21st. So I want to ask you guys, 21 days into the new year, and I want to have a conversation about what it's looking like. I did not tell anybody that I was going live, so I'm like messaging, sending everybody this broadcast right now so that we can get some viewers in the room, because I didn't tell anybody that I was going to be here. But I definitely want to make sure that you guys get this information and you start to think about this in 2020, or right now, like we're in 2022, and that's what it boils down to. So, like I said at the beginning of this broadcast, well, first and foremost, for me, Fridays are grind days, right? Fridays are days where I try to close any open projects. I normally have a lot more time to work on Fridays than I would. Because my boys typically go to visit with their family. So I get to spend a lot more time like doing work, and a lot more time just really making sure, like putting focus into my business. So that's what I like to do on Fridays. And for those of you who know me personally, I'm a little bit of a workaholic, and I work on the weekends normally as well. But I titled this broadcast "The Grind Includes Fridays" because, like I said, we are at a point. Hey, Britt, we are at a point 21 days into the new year where it's a really good time to examine whether or not the things that you have been doing are either keeping those habits from last year that you felt like were really, really good, or helping you to form those new habits, those habits that you really want to create in 2022. So this broadcast is a little bit different because normally I come on and talk about digital marketing and marketing strategy and all of that type of stuff. But I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of have this conversation with you guys, because at the end of the day, the most important thing you need to understand about your digital marketing strategy is that even with the strategy, you still have to do the work, right? And that's not just with your marketing, that's with anything in life, right? If you go to the gym today and you work out today, and then you go look at yourself in the mirror, you're probably not going to see any results right away, right? But so if you go to the gym 3 times a week, 4 times a week for the next 4 weeks, for the next 6 weeks, at the end of that time, you're probably going to start to see some results. You're probably going to start to see some weight loss. And depending on where you are right now, you could see it sooner. Right. So anything that you want in life, anything that you're putting your mind to, anything that you're putting your energy into, that you're saying that you desire, you're going to have to show up every day and do the work, right? And so I want to give you guys, I actually wrote down some things that you can do to start asking yourself whether or not, again, your habits, the habits that you are creating, or the habits that you are keeping from last year, right? Like the things that you did in 2021 that you were like, well, this really worked for me. This really got me good results. So the first thing is, what are your goals? If you haven't already sat down and wrote out like what you want to accomplish this year, if you haven't already sat down and thought about, in terms of your business, how much money do you want to make? In terms of your health, what does that look like? I tell people a lot of times, I go to the gym, yes, because I want to look good, but on the other side of that, I also want to be around for a long time. People have all types of illnesses and sicknesses that they get, that a lot of times can be prevented. I heard a story about a neighbor of mine not too long ago who died. And you guys, you will not, this is the craziest story I ever heard in my freaking life ever. This man passed away because his tooth rotted and the disease, the bacteria from his mouth, like ended up going into his body and he passed away. I have literally never heard of that ever in my life before. He went to the hospital to have surgery and they were like, "Oh my gosh, it's too late." And next thing you know, this man is dead. And this was something that was so preventable by like going to the dentist regularly, getting regular checkups, and taking better care of himself. So, again, all areas of your life and your health and your relationships and your career and your business, what are the things that you really want to accomplish this year? And if you haven't already done so, I really encourage you to sit down and write those goals out for yourself. That can be a big process, a long process. It does not normally, I don't do it in just one day, right? I think about my family, my friends, and like, what do I want those relationships to look like? I want to think about, again, my business and my clients and how we serve them. What do I want those things to look like? Um, just really taking a good look at every area of your life. Your credit, if your credit is messed up, if you want to lose weight, if you want to travel more. So writing all of those things down, getting super super clear and super intentional on what you want to create in this year. And if you start there, well, I will say, you can't talk about the habits, you can't talk about what you want to do, what is going to be required of you if you don't know where you're going. And I think that's the number one reason why a lot of people, when we are toward the end of the year, they're like, "Oh, I didn't do all of the things that I wanted to do. And oh, I wasn't able to accomplish all of my goals." And year after year, we see people kind of in the same situation, staying stuck because you didn't start your year with clarity around where you ultimately wanted to go. So that's the number one thing for me. Like, write down your goals, write down your dreams. I don't just hold them in your head. Don't just say like, "Oh, I know I want to grow my business this year." That's not a goal. You want to grow your business by how much? How much money do you want to generate in 2022? How many clients will you have to serve to be able to get there? And then that will help you to get to this next part that we're going to talk about, which is, are those habits that I'm either keeping from last year or working on changing in 2022, or developing new habits in 2022, are they really in alignment with where I want to go and who I see myself as being? And another big mistake that I see people making when they are writing out their goals, and everybody that's watching on Facebook and YouTube, if you could just say hi in the comments, because that will let me see you, right? Be able to see who's here. I can see that there are viewers, but I can't see who's tuned in. So just say hi in the chat so I know that you're here. Hi, Center Stage Unplugged. Thank you for coming in. Chrissy Beauty, thank you again for coming in. So, like I was saying, once you have your goals kind of outlined, like you know where you want to go, you know what that looks like, then you can ask yourself if the habits and your day to day actions are the things that that person would be doing. Right? Like, and this is something that I do a lot. I'm gonna tell you guys, hold on, I want to take a sip of my coffee because I don't want it to get too cold. But one of the things I ask myself a lot when I catch myself slipping, like I'll take something that's not business related. Let's talk about like my house, right? And I am a stickler for cleanliness, right? Like, I love to have all my laundry done. If you're a woman over 30 and you got your own house, then you know exactly how I feel. When the house is clean, the bathroom is clean, you got your candle lit, your kitchen is clean, whatever you want to eat, that's in the fridge. And you like, yes, I can just relax and watch some Law and Order SVU. It's quiet in the house, it smells good in here, it's warm, my bills is paid. Look at this, right? Like, that's just an amazing feeling. Hi, V. Thank you so much for coming in, my dear. So but if I catch myself slipping, like if I catch myself with too much backed up laundry, or I catch myself, dishes piling up too many days in a row. Hey Cheryl, thanks so much for tuning in. If I catch myself just not being in alignment with who I want to be, then I ask myself, like, is this how a rich, well, because this is my aspiration to like live in the suburbs, have a, 6 bedroom mansion with the guest room and a beautiful kitchen and walk-in closets and all that. I don't live that reality right now, but that's where I envision myself. And so I ask myself, like, is this what the rich Kiara would be doing right now? Or would she be like, oh, I gotta go into my laundry room, and it just would be so easy breezy putting her laundry in. And that's the thing that gets me back to doing the things that I know I need to be doing every single day, and making sure that, again, my habits are in alignment with who I ultimately want to be. So that's just one example, you guys. There are many examples in my business. I often ask myself, like, if I'm not going live as much as I know I should be, or I'm not promoting the business, I'm not posting on social media, I'm not replying to messages or any of those sorts of things, like doing the things that I know I need to do, then I ask myself, I do that regularly, but I want you guys to do it now. Like, are the things that I'm doing in alignment with who I want to be? Right? Is this what, this version of me would be doing if she or he was living the life that she wanted to live? And so a lot of times we're not showing up as the person that we want to be. A lot of times we are, for a variety of reasons. It could just be like you're tired, things were going on. Everybody has, setbacks or mistakes, but you just want to make sure that it's not all the time. Hey, good morning, Lavelle. Thanks for coming in. You just want to make sure that it's not all the time, and that, even if you allow yourself the opportunities to take a break, to reset, to recharge, that you get back on track ultimately and you're showing up like the person that you really want to be. Okay. So the third thing, and this is, oh no, I have one more. So the third thing that I want to kind of, the third step in this process, I guess, because it's more like an evaluation, right? Like, am I where I want to be, and why not? Basically, right? Because your habits, if you don't know, I didn't say this earlier, but I definitely should have. Your life is the sum total of all the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. And so your habits really determine whether or not you're going to be successful in anything, right? And I was talking to my youngest son, who's 4, Josiah, a couple of days ago. And at 4, if he makes a mistake, he tends to get really upset and be really hard on himself. And I'm not real even sure, like, where this came from, right? Like how this developed, but he does this a lot. And I've been working to try to get him to not do this. And so he is learning how, y'all are gonna be like, what? He's learning how to count in Spanish, and he is practicing right now counting backwards in Spanish. And sometimes when he goes too high, like, he can probably, if he counts to 5 or to 6 in Spanish, he could definitely count backwards. But if he goes too high, if he counts to 10 or even 8, he might get confused because he doesn't really remember all of the numbers yet. He's still learning. And so he was doing this in the car, and he was getting so angry because I just refused to help him. Like, I wasn't going to keep telling him the numbers. If you want to do it, you have to do it on your own. So if you can, just keep practicing until you get it. And he's like, oh, I'm getting so frustrated. Mommy, you're making me so angry. Right. And I'm like, well, why are you getting angry? And so because he says, because I made a mistake. And so I took him through this um affirmation process, I guess. And I said to him, you have to remember that mistakes make you better. So say this with me, and you guys can say it too if you like it. Okay. So mistakes make you better, right? The more I try, the more mistakes I make. Mistakes are not bad. Mistakes are showing me how I can be better. Okay. And so I just made him say that a couple of times. And then this morning he was counting and he slowed down, right? Thought about what he wanted to say and was able to do his counting backwards without messing up and without needing help. And so he was really, really proud of himself. But then when he got finished, he said, Mom, I didn't get frustrated and I didn't get upset because I was about to make a mistake, but I didn't. I remember, right? Because that mistake made you better. And so I'm teaching this to my 4-year old, but I also want to teach this to you guys because a lot of times when we fall off or when somebody brings up our mistakes, somebody brings up our shortcomings, we get offended by that. We're like, "Oh my gosh, don't tell me what I did because you didn't do." But don't always look at criticism. I don't like to take criticism from from everybody. Let me just say that. So I'm not saying you should be open to receiving criticism from every single person that you know. But constructive criticism is really good because it helps you to see where you can be better, right? So thank you, Laurel. Yes, mistakes make you better. So, where can I be better? Hey, good morning, Dawn. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, where can I be better? How can I be better? How can I just fix or support myself in more ways so that I can do more of the things that I'm trying to do? So, I'll give you guys an example for myself. One of the things that I'm really working on right now in my personal and business life is like optimizing my time in every area and creating a schedule that's best for me. Okay, so I'll share this with you guys so that you know I have like the worst sleep cycle known to people who have to operate during the daytime, because if I didn't have to get up with my kids or take them to school or something along those lines, then it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I actually am much more of a night owl, right? And I prefer to work either really late at night or in the overnight hours. So, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And because of that, I usually stay up really late. I actually only go to sleep for a few hours in between. And then I get up at like literally right now. Good morning, Amor. Literally right now, guys, I've been getting up at like 3:30 in the morning. It's sickening. Okay. And the reason that it's sickening is because getting up at 3:30 in the morning by 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. I need to go to sleep. Because I'm working all day, running around with the kids, doing all different types of things. And so, of course, it is reinforcing this sleep pattern that I don't want to have of being up at 3:30 in the morning and going to sleep at usually it's like 9 or 10, but I'm tired. Hey Shay, good morning. But I'm tired by like 7 or 8 because I've been up. I've been up since 3:30. And so I've been trying to figure out like how to insert a nap into my schedule, because actually getting up at 3:30 in the morning is working for my productivity. I get up way before my kids. I'm able to do everything I need to do in the house. I have my 5 a.m. meditation with no problem. It's quiet in the house. Even if Josiah it wakes up, because sometimes Josiah gets up really early, like 6 a.m., which is why I started getting up at 3:30 in the first place. Actually, it was like 4 initially, but now it's 3:30. And so it just actually works out more for me. The only problem is that by the evening time, I'm really tired and I would like to be able to do some more work, not just in the business, but around the house, or focus on some more things later in the day without being super, super exhausted. And I know if I could insert a nap into my schedule in the middle of the day, it will work out. So I still haven't quite figured out how to do it yet, you guys, because I don't want to drive all the way home from the office in the middle of the day. And then I normally pick Josiah up like around 3:30. And if I'm coming back to his daycare from my house around that time gonna run into a lot of traffic. So I haven't quite figured it out yet. But this is one of the areas where I'm asking myself, how can I be better? How can I allocate and really use my time more wisely? Because when I'm able to do so, when I focus on the important things in my life and in my business, then all of the other things that don't matter, they get taken care of anyway. And I get to move closer and closer to my goals. I get to move closer and closer to the person that I'm really working on becoming, right? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So, good morning, Dawn. Thank you so much for tuning in. And guys, if this is helpful to you, you've been tuned in with us so far, do me a favor and just share this with somebody that can benefit from it. Because, like I said, we all have goals and aspirations, things that we're working on accomplishing, and things that we're trying to do right now. And I think that it's important to not only share this type of information, but make sure that the people who you're connected to get this information. So you don't want to just watch it for yourself, but you want to make sure your friends and your family and everybody around you is watching it too, because they need the help as well. So, today we're talking about forming a habit. It's January 21st, right? And normally I would be here talking about marketing strategy or business development or something like that. But what I said at the top of this broadcast, and I just want to reiterate here, is that no matter what you're trying to do, no matter what thing you're working on, whether it's your marketing, your business, or fitness, or saving more money, all of those things are about your habits, right? And even let's talk use savings, right? Like if you decide I want to save $5,000 this year so that I can use it towards purchasing a home, if you haven't been able to save $5,000 to purchase a home up until now, it's probably not likely that you're going to save it today. But you can take something and put something in your savings today when you get your paycheck and put it to the side so that you have the money and you continue to build it over time. So at the end of this year, you're like, wow, I saved, $100 a day, $100 a week or something like that, right? It's 52 weeks in a year. So yeah, if you save $100 in a week, $100 a week, you definitely would have about $5,000 at the end of this year. So just thinking like that is going to drive you closer to your goals much faster than trying to make one big leap in one day. Hey, Frazier, thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. So, the last tip I want to give you guys before I hop off of here, you're working on your habits, you're working on becoming a better person in any area of your life, or just doing something different than you've done before, you need to be thinking about the long term, right? So I said to you guys, are your habits lining up on a day-to-day basis with the person that you ultimately want to become? Are the things that you're doing every single day on social media to market your business, or the things that you're eating, are they in alignment with your fitness habits, or the thoughts that you're thinking, right, are they in alignment with the person that you want to ultimately be? So I want you to think about that stuff, but I want you to stop thinking about like who you want to be tomorrow, and I want you to start thinking about like, who do I want to be in 5 years? Because the reality is that most people are not accomplishing their goals because they're not thinking about who they want to become in 5 years, right? And you really need to have a long-term focus of your dreams, of your goals, of your aspirations. No, it's not what's driving you every single day. Like today you may be like, oh, I got to get these 10 things done, right? But there needs to be a point where you sit down and ask yourself, like, are the things that I'm doing every single day lining up with the person that I want to be in 5 years? Because if they're not, if these are not the habits of the person that I see myself being in 5 years, it's highly unlikely that I'm going to magically become that person if I don't take some change, if I don't make some changes and take some action right now so that I can become that person. So, like I told you guys with the laundry example, right? Like when I catch myself slipping on my laundry, I say to myself, Kiara in 5 years, when I'm living in my big old suburban mansion with my Tesla in my driveway, and George is, coming in with his friends, eating all the food out the pantry, okay? And Josiah is running around. Hey, Dom. Josiah is running around the living room. Would there be laundry all over the place? right? With the laundry be piled up in this joint. Definitely not, right? I would take my cute little wicker laundry basket and go to my laundry room, and oh, everything would be so organized, so neat and clean, and I would be doing my laundry. And that's really how I visualize my life, right? Especially when I find myself not being on track. You can do it for any area in your life. Let's say you have some fitness goals that you're trying to accomplish. I have some fitness goals that I'm working on accomplishing because last year when the summertime came here, I had to get fit, right? But this year shorty gonna stay fit. Okay. So, I asked myself, like, literally yesterday, I was about to run out the house and not eat breakfast, right? And that's something that I always do. So I stopped and I made myself take my breakfast. Okay. You're gonna take your check and pay the housekeeper. I might, but some things I like doing around the house, Dom. I'm like, actually, I love being a mom. So like the baking cookies, folding up laundry, smelling the downy on your warm towels, and I like working, right? I like running my business, but if I had the flexibility to like be at home with the kids on a Saturday and not be worried, like I'm just doing my laundry and my children are running around living their life. George is going to the mall with his friends and Josiah is in the backyard playing. Like, yeah, that's the ideal life for me. Like a life that's balanced and harmonious. Um All of it. I wanna bake the cookies. I wanna have my, cleaning supplies, and I'm, like, cleaning my shower, my bathroom, doing YouTube videos, right? Like, "Oh, look at me. These are my cleaning tools. Come check out my pantry. Come check out how I organize my pantry. Check out all these cute labels, and by the way, I made this." Right? So, but with my fitness goals and running out the house and not eating breakfast every morning and then starving and cramming my face with some junk food in the afternoon because I haven't eaten all day, right? That's not in alignment with who I want to be. That's not in alignment with who I want to be, like on the health side in terms of how I want to look, but also it's not good for my energy levels. It's not good for my ability to focus. It's not good for my skin, right? It's like it's not helping none of my goals. It's not helping nothing that I'm trying to do this year. So I had to ask myself yesterday, and this we were running late. I was rushing out the house, but I had to stop because I always cook to feed my kids. I always make sure they have every single thing they need. Their breakfasts are cooked. I feed my kids breakfast at home before we leave for school, and we leave for school at 7 a.m. I feed my kids. George takes lunch to school. He has to buy lunch because he's in high school. And then I typically make dinner or they eat leftovers almost every single day, you guys. And so I always feed the kids, but I will literally make a whole meal for my children and then go lay down and go to sleep and not eat anything, right? And I know that is not in alignment with who I want to be. I know that's not a habit. Again, it's not helping my energy, it's not helping. I was telling somebody the other day, my nails are so brittle right now, right? I know it's because I'm not eating. I know it's because I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not drinking enough water. And so this week I really had to get on my job. So I packed my lunch. I've been drinking my water every day. I didn't drink all of this yet today. I have to fill it back up. I've been bringing my lunch, right? And doing things. This is a smoothie that I made that are in alignment. Oh, can you guys see it? That are in alignment with who I ultimately want to be. And again, this is not short term. Like for me, fitness is yes, I want to look cute in the summertime for my birthday, but also I want to be here for a long time. Sorry, Instagram. Let me just make sure that it resets and y'all can hear me. If you can hear me on Instagram, if you can hear me on Instagram, just let me know. When the call comes in, always messes up. Sorry about that, you guys. Let me see if it's back. If you can hear me on Instagram, just let me know. I know a call came in, so it might have messed it up. Facebook and YouTube, y'all could just give us 1 second. Oh my gosh, this is so irking. So, anyway, like I was saying, I just want to do the things that are in alignment with who I actually want to be. And me taking care of myself and like going to the gym and all of that. Oh man, me taking care of myself and going to the gym and doing all that type of stuff, that is more so about me being here and just being here for a long time, right? Like having a long life, being able to see my kids grow up, my grandkids. I want to live for a really long time. People used to tell me, like, you want to live a long time. And I'd be like, don't tell me that. Right. But now I feel like I do. I want to live for a really long time. I want my children to have children and my grandchildren to have children. And I want to see all of them grow up. So that's a long term goal of mine. So that means that I know at 35, I got to drink more water and just take better care of myself and do a better job of caring for myself and being the type of person that I want to be. So, hopefully, this helped you guys. Again, I know it was a little bit off brand, but I wanted to come and share this information with you because this was something that I just kind of took note of and was even examining for myself today. It's 21 days into January, into 2022. Are you showing up like the person that you want to be? It takes 21 days to form a habit and 90 days to form a lifestyle. So the more you can be consistent in doing the things that are in alignment with the person that you want to be, the better it's gonna be for you, baby. Okay. So I'm actually probably gonna come back later on today and do another live stream broadcast, but I'll announce that so that you guys know what time I'm tuning in. It will definitely be about marketing because it's a lot of things that I want to show you guys that I've been working on. So I want to share this information with you. But like I said, I'll announce that later on so that you guys kind of have a heads up. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being here with me today. I super appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys later on. Okay. Yes, I want to be not soon, Frazier. My kids is young, but I want to be a great granny. Okay. I definitely do. So, all right, guys, have a great Friday, and I will see you all soon. Bye.